Hey, it's Janet from JRK Handcrafted. Um, I've already done a quick kind of walkthrough of this really cute paper in an earlier video, just showing some of the Christmas pattern papers and dies and bundles and whatnot that are coming up with Stampin' Up. And is available in our September to December catalog, which will be, let me see, I think I have a copy of it right here, which you'll be able to order from this as of September right through to December. And I can't really show you the catalog yet, but I can show you what I'm going to do with some of the papers. So let's have a quick review here of what papers we're looking at. I already have an idea of the layout I want to use, but really cute. So the paper itself is called A Little Christmas. So it has these cute little mice in their stockings on this page. And then you turn it over and it's got this really nice stripe. And I'm thinking, I picked out kind of a double page layout that I like. And I'm definitely going to be using these ones. And then you have two pieces of this bow pattern. And then on the back, there's kind of a watercolor wash type plaid on there with the red and the green. So very traditional Christmas colors. And then we've got some cut aparts here, which would be great for cards, would be great on a scrapbook layout, some nice borders here. Really pretty colors in this set. Let me just check here and I'll tell you what they are. So there's basic beige, Cajun craze, cherry cobbler, early espresso, golden glow, Lost Lagoon, mossy meadow, old olive, pecan pie, petal pink, pool party, real red, smoky slate, soft sea foam, and very vanilla. So I don't think I'm sure you probably have some of those colors on hand, so to match up with this. But anyway, it is traditional, but it's got this beautiful aqua in the back here. But again, the little mice carrying the tree, singing the carols, little candy canes. You could die cut around these with a really nice oval die or whatnot out of these papers. The back is the red stripe, very similar to the green that we saw a little bit earlier. This one here, you've got them hanging the stockings, running with the presents, decorating the tree. So some really nice scenes can be done with these. And again, you've got the wash plaid basically. Oh my gosh, and this one's so cute. The mama mouse making cookies with the baby mouse and some jars full of cookies. Gingerbread house climbing up into the jar of cookies. And then this side is really nice. It has the bows, the candy canes, some greenery, holly and berries. So that's the paper that comes in this kit. And I'll show you the, let's turn this around. I'll show you the sketch that I was going to use for this. Because I really want to stretch my papers as far as I can. So I don't want to be using, full pages if I can help it. But the sketch I've got is on Page Maps, and I'll link that site to the description in this video. Anyway, I liked this particular layout, so I've gone ahead and I have my photo mats here. Now their photo mats are 3 3/4. They suggest anyway 3 3/4 by 5.5. I'm going with 3.5 by 5. So a little bit smaller. I think that will give me a little more room if I decide I want to put some mats. If I want to double mat these, then I'll do that. And then here, I've kept this the same. Kind of an odd size, 3 1/4 by 2.5. I usually go 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, but that's fine. I don't have my pictures picked out yet, so I can cut them when I can cut them to size when I print them. So we'll set those aside for a second. So here's my thought. Looking at this paper here with the little mice in the sitting in the stockings. I kind of thought what we could do is use this. These look to be about 4, maybe 4 or 3.5 inch strips here. So if those went along the top, I could cut 2, say 4-inch strips. And then with the 4-inch strip that's at the bottom here left over, we could turn around and we could make 2-inch strips, which would be very similar to this. So I'm thinking that would be a good start. The only thing I haven't decided is what this piece is going to be. I'm not quite sure yet, and I'm not quite sure the size. I did look up here at this kind of scalloped half circle or 3/4 circle. And what I did in anticipation of using this paper was I wasn't going to do just the scallop. I thought maybe I would do a cutout. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be too big, so I cut some smaller ones out on my silhouette just to kind of think maybe if I use 3/4 of this, that might work. So, and I have a really cute title, and I guess I'm going to have to take this into consideration too, is I've got stockings and stockings and shenanigans. So I may have to opt out and put that somewhere else or not use it. If I put my title up here, yeah, I may have to downsize that. It looks just so cute like that. So this is just a print and cut from my Cameo. I don't have a Cricut. I don't use a Cricut, so you won't hear me say that very often. But I do have a silhouette Cameo and a portrait, so I use them, as opposed to the Cricut. So, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the journaling card, but for ephemera here, I've gone ahead now. I bought the whole suite here. So what it comes with is this stamp and die set. So you've got your mouse, which is this guy here, and I've already gone ahead and colored him. And you've got this little guy, and I've colored him as well and die cut him. But then there's some other little things that I've cut out in this. So I have this little guy, and I have him holding a present. And I have, let me see here. And I can have, if I get them out of my tray here. When these are die cut, they're die cut, so their little hands are separate. So what you can do is if you wanted him, or maybe we'll go this way. If you wanted him, say, carrying this candy cane, let's just get him in there. There we go. We can have him carrying that, the same as the other guy's carrying the present. There we go. He could be carrying the candy cane. And there's baubles, which I've done a few. There's bows. I haven't done everything that's in there. There's little toques. So you could put a toque on this little dude. And there's even the scarves and stuff. So you could, let's remove that for a second. You could give him a little scarf and the toque to match if you wanted to. So anyway, that's for later on. So I thought we could use that. So you can buy the stamps, the dies separately. You can bundle them, these two together. You can get the whole suite, which, by the way, also included, in case you missed my other video, included these really cool kind of epoxy pieces here. They're really, really cute. And oh yes, and it did come with this twine as well. I might have missed something else, but I think that's what came with the bundle. So anyway, let me head out and get my papers cut out. I'm going to try to decide what to do with this piece here, but maybe once I get the rest cut out, something will come to mind, because there's nothing in behind here. That's why I'm thinking we might want to double mat these. So let me go and cut those papers out, see what it looks like on sheets, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I've kind of cut everything out here. I did cut the 4 inches of the mice here at the top, and then the 4 inches that was left over, I cut into 2 inches, which I put at the bottom here. These aren't really lined up. Then, trying to follow the sketch, I had to have a piece of pattern paper here, and I found this one in my stash. So these will, excuse me, these will, sorry, these will line up here. my four photos here. I think I'm going to put on a mat. Depends on how much room I have up here for the little mouse. And oh, excuse me, sorry. And the little mouse is here with the 2 trees. This I'm going to set up for a journaling spot. I'm just not sure yet what I don't want to just leave it like that. I may cut it out in a circle or do something with it. It looks kind of plain there. I have some border strips cut out here, and they will match across here. I have some trees too, so I was going to put one of those in back of here. I have my, geez, everything keeps moving around here. I have my half circle up here, and I will put another tree here. I have my little mouse holding on to a bauble. And actually, I just noticed that the mice in the picture here are browns, and I have mine grays, but that's okay. Artistic choice there. And I have a mouse here with the candy cane and mouse with the presents, and I have an additional present here and here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this all, tack down what I can. I like these two coming together here, although I need to have a strip here. I just don't want this white going off into white. So I may just put a strip in there. I'll see once my papers stop kind of moving around. Anyways, I'll get most of this stuck down, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so I got pretty much everything laid out here. This is all tacked down. My mouse is up on dimensionals. I did cut out 2 trees, which were actually in that die set here. So I cut some out of a darker green and a lighter green. I just had some green cardstock just in my stash, so I'm not sure what colors those are. Anyways, I've got the 3 1/4 by 2.5 here. These two meet up. I did put some green on the side here just so that it wasn't completely going off onto the white. This little mouse here is holding a present, and I did glue that down a little bit. There's a present tucked under here. I'm not sure. I might do something here. I'm not sure what. Maybe I'll put some of the little epoxy stickers there. Now, the other thing that I have is I do have this title for my page, but I don't know if you've ever had like one to like shiny up or epoxy something, like say here in the case of these little lights. I'd like them to be kind of glossy, but I don't want to wait overnight for the epoxy to dry and take a chance on it smearing somewhere. So I'll show you just quickly what I do. So I'm going to get out my little silicone mat here. So these are letters that let me see if I can get them close to you, that I have put epoxy on. So I'll use a UV resin, which basically cures with UV light. And I do have some single letters too. I just couldn't kind of put my hand on them. But what I'd like to do, excuse me, what I'd like to do is kind of UV up these little lights here. So I'm going to put it on this mat just so that it can protect my surface. I am going to take, this is the UV resin I use. I'll put a link to that in the description here. I'm going to use just a little bit of wax paper to kind of squirt a little bit out. This stays liquid until, oh my goodness, it's going to be hard to open. This stays liquid until you use the UV light. So you can, you can move it away, you can take it off, you can do whatever you want until the until you put the UV light on it. Excuse me, just suck. This is My lid is kind of stuck here. It might have been laying on its side here. So I just want to get this off so I can squirt a little bit of this UV resin out. There we go. I think we got it now. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to squirt. You could use a little Dixie cup or whatever for this. I'm just going to squirt this onto some wax paper here. And then cover that up. It comes in a black bottle only so that UV light doesn't harden it on the inside. Now, I do have a little tool that I use. It's silicone on the ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to dab a little bit on my light here, on each of the little lights. It is, it self-levels. So as long as you don't pull it off the side, let me bring this up a little bit to show you. So it is, whoops, let me put it in there. It is glossy. And like I said, I like using glossy accents or some of the other items, but I find this works extremely good, especially if you don't have time to wait. So I'm just basically taking this silicone, no, I call it a silicone brush, but I'm just basically dabbing it on there on the top. I don't want it to go over the sides if I can help it. So I'll just put this on here. And like I said, if for some reason I did something that I didn't like, I could turn around and just, would leave a little bit of a mark, but I could wipe it off, depending on what you're wiping it off of. But I find that now what it may do too, depending on how you're putting it on or applying it, it may bubble up a little bit. You may see a bubble in there. Basically what you can do to get rid of that bubble would be to just blow on it with your warm breath. That will, okay, so I think I've got them all covered. So the next thing you would do, and I have just, this is a little UV thing, it's used for nails. You can also get a smaller one that is just really tiny. That'll work for tiny things. So I'm going to put that, you're going to see it disappear here for a second. I'm going to put this on for 90 seconds. So the UV light will shine on where I have put the resin. And if I find that it's not enough, I can go back and I can apply some more. So this is really awesome if you're looking to do anything glossy that you want to have a look at. You don't want to have to worry about it after the fact. And you need very little. And like I said, it is self-leveling. So it's great if you want to shine up any of your letters. Now I've cut these out with a die that I have in my stash, and then I set the letters on here. I put the UV resin on top, slid it under here for 90 seconds or whatever, and then put it on foam that had been cut out. So it kind of got popped up. And basically the same with this. So it's a really great way to kind of pop out anything that you want to show as glossy and not have to wait overnight for it to dry and take the chance that and actually, do we staple? Yeah, if we hadn't glued, well, I have a candy cane here that we could do the same thing to. I've got some resin left, so let's give that a try. Let's see if we've got enough here to do that. You can see it gloss up. I'm just going to put that on for another 30 seconds. You can see it gloss up. I'm hoping it's not going to make my ink run. It's usually pretty good that it doesn't. I mean, you're obviously not smearing it on. You're just basically dabbing it on. So let's make this, actually I should move that away because the UV resin is actually hitting it and it's curing it. So you do have to be careful if you're doing multiple things. Don't do them too close to the UV light or it's liable to get sticky or try to harden before you're ready for it too. So, okay, that light's not on anymore. So let's, I might need a little bit more resin here. Yeah, I will. We'll just pour a little bit more on our wax paper. And like I said, this stuff goes a long, long way. And I forget what the cost of it was, but it wasn't overly expensive. Okay, I'm gonna get something to hold this down while I put the resin on. And I find these little silicone, I have one that's more pointy for really, really detailed work. But as usual, I just couldn't put my hand on it when I decided I wanted to show you how to do this. Okay, maybe that's not perfect, but we'll leave it as it is. And we will move this out of the way. And I'm going to check those lights, see how they're doing. Let me see if I can show you the gloss on them. But those are dry. Like those are good to go. So let's turn our light on here. And like I said, I didn't take my time that much to apply it to the yeah, that's really cute. To apply it to the candy cane, but it will give you an idea of just how fast you can make something glossy and not have to worry about overnight or smearing or that type of thing. So once we're done this, then I can glue down. I'm going to pop up my page title, and the little mouse that was beside it. I've got those trees to go on there as well. And actually, I could probably move this out of the way and we can have a look at that. Okay, so this is going to go here. And then my trees, I was thinking I might put one of them on one side here. And this little guy is going to be popped up over here. And yeah, I might have to just rearrange these. I don't want a whole lot of leftover red here. I've got an extra ball and I have an extra present as well. So maybe we can put this ball down here for the little guy. Anyways, we'll pop those up and everything. I just wanted to wait and show you what this candy cane looked like. Let's see, I think I'll probably need a pair of tweezers to pick it up. Yeah. So this is inexpensive. I think this might have been around maybe $15. I'm not sure, but I will put a link above. Now let's just check and see how this is. Whoopsie. It's pretty much done. I'll probably put it in for another, let's see here, another few minutes, but you can see the gloss on that. And that's, I'll just put it on here. And that's just like a few minutes. So there's a technique that you might want to use for some of your lettering, anything that you want shiny. This works perfect. Anyways, I'm gonna stick everything on my layout here, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, so we're back. I applied the trees and the mouse and everything down here. I put this mouse up here. I did take some of the epoxy stickers that came from here and put them on the trees. White ones here, the gold ones here. I popped this up, and I'm not sure whether you can see it or not, but I don't know if you can see the gloss of those lights or not. Anyway, yeah, And I'll probably have some other tutorials, or at least some showing you something down the road on something that's, say, a little bit larger and how to handle that. Anyway, this mouse has been popped up. We've got the two baubles there. I added these two half circles because this area seems blank. I'm not putting anything there. We already have enough there. So we have our visual triangle here. I may go in and just add some sequins or gemstones or something to this. But as of right now, this is complete. And I'm going to start working on some other layouts for you as well. Again, this is the UV resin. So I will list that in the description below, plus some of the other products I used today. Anyways, thanks so much for visiting with me today. And I will put the link to my shop on the video. So even though this isn't available now, there's lots of other things available in the store. Some of them are reduced in price. Anyways, thank you so much for being with me today, and we'll look forward to the next video.